Hello, people of the internet. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. A happy Monday to you all. Happy Baltic Monday from me here in frigid America. Hopefully you enjoyed your weekend. Of course, it was Halloween weekend. Hopefully you had a good one if you were out celebrating. We get to continue with the latest Taemin drop, which is always very exciting indeed. Guilty was spectacular. I mean, you come to expect it from someone like Taemin, but even still, my expectations were blown out of the water. He is spectacular. But it's not just the title track. We have 5 more songs on the EP to get around to. This is the album listed for Taemin's Guilty EP, and I am tremendously excited for it. This will be my first Taemin album that I listen to from beginning to end. I'm very much a title track merchant when it comes to Taemin and his solo stuff, and that changes today. In fact, it started changing a little while ago, right around probably when shinee had the group come back, because there was a Twitter video of Taemin riding a bicycle with the song Think of You off of the Idea album, and ever since hearing that song has been living rent-free in my head, and still to this day is one of my top fashionably late award songs, songs that dropped over 2 years ago that I just happened to stumble across this year. That song is tremendous and has a chokehold on my whole heart, and I'm hoping there's a song on this EP that does the same to me again. So, let's get into it. DJ, roll the intro. So, we have color-coded lyric videos, thankfully, because I feel like Taemin's a big enough artist to warrant that at this point. So we have tracks 2 through 6 on the album to get through today. Timeline, if you've never been around here for one of my album listens before, timeline below is going to be chapter based off of whatever song we are listening to, so if you want to skip ahead to a B-side of your choice, you are more than free to do so. That's only if this stays on YouTube. SM can be a hit or miss when it comes to content ID, so this might have gotten blocked worldwide. I don't know yet. We'll find out. But track number 2. Let's start with track number 2. This is The Rizzness. Lyrics by Yi-Hyun Suk. Composition by Manifest, J-Bach, Landon Sears, Kyle Buckley, Charles Nelson, MZMC. Arrangements by the same people. Alright. My first Taemin B-side of the session. Here we go! A slow song. But it's got the sass. I love how heavy the mixing is for this. It's got a modern trappy to it, but man, is it heavy. Oh, the slight filter on his voice is really nice. Kind of sounds like he's singing through a megaphone. Oh, straight anti-drop. Straight anti-drop. There's the full drop. Holy cadence. I love that every single line got a different cadence there. It keeps you on your toes. The pan guitar siren's an interesting choice. One of those like instrumental parts that provides more textural than anything, and it just kind of keeps moving in your ears. Different beat on the drop. Vocal chops, but in the low register. And again with the megaphone sound. I hear you up there, Taemin. Interesting. Pause. Come on, there we go. Interesting. Very interesting. It's still got the dramaticism. It's got the attitude. It's got the heaviness from Guilty. It's definitely done in a very different way. I mean, you know, Guilty was based around that string orchestra element in the instrumental side of things. The Rizzness very much is a very modern take, you know, modern trap beat, lots of synth, lots of launch pad, that kind of oscillating electric guitar like scratching. Very interesting textural addition. It's one of those songs where I think the chaos is like definitely implied, and it comes across very clearly. But yet at the same time, it's one of those songs where if it didn't have the chaos, it wouldn't fit right. Like, this is a song that very much needs all the noise going into it, all the heavy 808, all of the, I mean, that oscillating guitar part. As jarring as it may come across, it's very much a needed part of the song. And texturally, I think it's bang on what the song needs. It's not my cup of tea, but I can definitely see the Taemin, like, this song just exudes Taemin energy, and I can definitely see that. All right. Let's keep her moving one time. It's track number 3, She Loves Me Not. Lyrics by Yi Hyun Suk, composition Tony Ferrari, Joseph Pepe, Great Trainer, Barry Cohen, arrangement Joseph Pepe, Great Trainer, Gingerbread. All right, here we go. A little bit spooky again.
She loves me 나 하나 둘씩 시든 꽃잎 멍하니 난 바라봐 She loves me not 우리의 계절이 바뀌어만 가 새까맣게 타버린 daisy 나보다 길어진 밤 어둠 속을 헤매는 매일
Strangely enough, I like the pacing of this. The fact that it kind of goes both directions. It's a little bit quick, but it's also very slow. If that made any sense, I don't know, but... Big unison chorus, okay. A little gang vocal action going. And then you drop it right down for the second verse. Nice. The reverb in the mix is also very interesting. It's like certain instruments get the reverb, others don't. Very subtle vocal layering going in the second chorus. Bring back the gang vocals. Oh, that vibrato on that held note is so nice. Still up there. Probably not gonna come down off of that high note, actually. It's probably gonna be a constant high point. Yeah, he stayed up there for the most part. Oh, interesting. They cut off that like outro chorus part there. I thought they maybe cycle it one more time. Got like 3/4 of that final chorus in the outro there. Oh, interesting design choice. It's like they're purposely taking it away so we don't get the satisfaction of a full conclusion at the end. Which is actually a very smart idea because it gets you back in the song again. But She Loves Me Not, I kind of like it. I mentioned at the beginning where it's one of those songs where it feels quick but it also feels very slow. I still stand by that. It's like, it feels too quick to be an anthem or a ballad, but it feels too slow to be like an emo pop song in a way. And the way that it kind of rides in that middle, and depending on what part of the song you're in, changes how you perceive that beat, I think is really interesting, or at least that's how I perceive it. Compositionally, I like how big this song is. It's like, it's not in the instrumental parts, it's in the vocal part where like the expansiveness comes in, because you get like 3 different ways of stacking vocals. You get, one vocal and an ad-lib part. You get a vocal and like a sub-vocal part that's, added on Taemin, kind of providing harmony for himself. And then you get this gang vocal part. And every single time you get a non-solo like vocal part, the song just feels so big to me. And combine that with the fact that there are certain instruments that get some really nice, rich reverb to it as well. This song feels like it goes on forever. It's like, She Loves Me Not, picking off the petals out of the flowers. It's very much kind of like going through the human emotion of like love and stuff, and kind of just imagining this being a representation of what the expansive like a human heart is like from an emotional sense, where it's just really big and it just goes on forever. I think that's really cool. Very nice, very nice. Right, next up, Not Over You. Lyrics by Isuran, composition Matthias Olsey, Christopher Fugelsang, Christopher Fugelsang, Mortensen, Malte Ebert, Gavin Brown. Arrangement, lip gloss. Whenever I see Scandinavian names on a credit, it gets me a little bit excited, because that usually means we're getting some of the European DJs involved, and they know a thing or two about making some bangers. So here we go. Ooh. Hasn't revealed anything yet. It's got a pulse. Interesting that the song hasn't really revealed itself yet. Oh, this is a really interesting chorus, because the main musicality of it is provided by the 808 and Taemin's voice alone, or at least like the tonal quality of it. But I don't want any more. Oh, oh, that musical silence moment hit hard. Getting that second kind of layer vocal, much similar to She Loves Me Not. Into the low vocal, Taemin? Okay. Take it down one time. I love the growth. I love the growth into this chorus. Because now, this chorus needs all of the parts going into it because of that growth felt so natural. Nice. Nice. Not Over You is a little bit ambient, a little bit vibey. Also retains a little bit of that dramaticism. Taemin's very good at doing that. It wasn't the EDM banger I was kind of expecting, but I'm actually glad that it wasn't because it's very good. It's one of those songs that kind of for me has an enchanting vibe to it where it's like you listen to it and you get so engrossed in it that you don't really know what's happening around you anymore. Especially that second chorus was one of those where I was just vibing along to it and it just appeared and it was brilliant. That's really interesting because I don't really have a lot to say about Not Over You because it doesn't really warrant a whole lot of talking from me. I could just listen to it and just enjoy it and I don't really need to explain myself, which is it's rare to come across a song like this because usually there's like, you know, very, for me, clear points where there's like, okay, I like this because it gives me this feeling, or I think the composition style of this is really smart because it does this to the song. But Not Over You is just, it's kind of a plug and play song where you can just hit play, get to the end, be really satisfied that you listen to it, and that's it. Very interesting, very interesting. Don't feel like that a lot of times for a lot of songs, so love feeling that. But here we go, next up. Track number 5, Night Away. Lyrics by Cho Yoon Kyung. Composition, Dave Villa, Brayland, Maddie Simon, and TMM. Arrangement, Dave Villa. All right. Oh, it's chill. Oh yes, we got a chill vibe. Oh. Switch up the cadence one time. What's this chorus gonna sound like? Very gentle release, all things considered, but I don't think it warrants anything more powerful than that. Oh, hello, background vocals. The kind of aesthetic of this late night song, where it's really chill, it doesn't have a whole lot of like big moments, a song where you can just listen and unwind to, has grown on me over the course of the year. This definitely fits in that category. It's a nice, slow, smooth song that very much has that like calm late night vibe to it. Oh, get tasty with it. That's just so gross. That run. Out of nowhere, unprovoked. How dare you? At this point, it's like, Taemin albums should come with a disclaimer. It's like, vocal runs will make you audibly and emotionally, like, vulnerable. God. He has no business doing the vocal runs that smoothly. Like, it's not fair. It's not fair. It's not fair emotionally. It's not fair physically. It's like, But Night Away, very much that late night smooth, chill song. And it's a very nice time. And honestly, Taemin's voice, I love on a song like this. I do quite like him on like the dramatic title track stuff, but his like gentle voice with his really interesting and unique like vocal color that he has in that kind of low mid range, I think is a match made in heaven for a song like this. Plus, you know, he's got the range and he's got the capability of doing just the filthiest vocal runs. Just, you know, it's like he'll throw in vocal runs how I put Parmesan on my tomato pasta, just as much as he wants until he's satisfied. And I love that. I genuinely do love that. I love a great vocal part. And you know, as much as I joke around saying that, like, you know, absolute filthy vocal part and things like that, it genuinely is a spectacular vocal top line with all of the flavor, all the seasoning and spices and extra herbs, because it's Taemin and he's so good at it. Why not, right? And that leaves us with one final song. This is Blue, track number 6. Lyrics by Yi O Nul Jihae. Excuse me, I just had lunch. Composition, Aaron Burton, Matt Crawford, Lucas Zelansky, Will J. Arrangement by Theo and the Climb. Alright, let's finish this album strong, shall we? Ooh, predictions. Is it a ballad or not? I don't know. Ooh. Usually albums end on a ballad. Oh, I don't know yet. I'm getting more anthem than I am ballad, but I could be wrong here. Hello, background vocal part. It's definitely not a ballad, but it has the same characteristics as one, where it feels like the conclusion of a project. Oh, the reverb for the post-chorus? This one's also giving me kind of I Dare Think of You vibes to me. And I think the main thing about this song for me is the fact that there aren't too many distractions in it. Like, the instrumental part is really accommodating for the vocal top line above it. Big broad chords, not a whole lot of complicated stuff going on. I can definitely see this as being an end of a show kind of song, and a light six in the air. And I love the effects they've put on it, how they muffle it a little bit. That's a great conclusion to a great album. Oh my goodness. I don't know why, but I get hopeful vibes from this one. Kind of like I'm gonna quote one of my favorite like rock artists, frontman Joe Elliott from Def Leppard, but Blue very much gives me like, we'll see you next time and there will be a next time for me. I don't know why it gives me that feeling, but yeah, I reckon this would be great in a stadium with a whole bunch of fans, you know, flashlights, pen lights, light sticks around just waving back and forth. Oh man, and the mixing too. I think this song, out of the B-sides that we listened to, is mixed the best for me, because it's got the kind of a warm reverb, if that makes sense. Where sometimes if you put reverb and it rings for too long, it feels a little bit spooky because it rings for so long, because it feels like you're singing into a void. But for me, Blue feels like it's a whole lot of voices singing to like a central focal point in the middle. And I like that. It's a very comforting song in a way for me. Also, maybe because I quite like a ballad, because I find them cathartic, and this gives me big ballad energy. But, Blues made picking B-side of the album for me a little bit difficult. And I actually might take a B-side of the album for me. So, okay, so we finished my first ever Taemin album, and might I just say, this is a brilliant time. It is so much fun. We've listened to a lot of music this year, and, you know, I've listened to even more music off camera that didn't make it onto YouTube as me, like, watching it. And there have been a good handful of albums from solo artists that we've checked out this year. Two of them from group mates of his in like Onu's Circle album and Key's EP with Good and Great on it. And out of all the solo albums that I've listened to this year, I don't think I've come out of it emotionally fulfilled and also confused. Because I really like this album, but I don't really, like, my heart doesn't really know what, like, the main takeaway should have been from this. Because for me, like, my brain, the main takeaway was to try and learn what Taemin's solo projects were like. But my heart is confused on whether I should be, like, really happy or kind of scared by this. Because this is not, like, a lighthearted album. And typically, like, lighthearted albums I can digest a little bit easier than, like, the pretty dark and heavy ones. And while this album isn't dark and heavy, like, to the extreme, I'd probably say the dark and heavy peaked on the title track, which is beneficial for this album's sake. But I don't know, my heart just doesn't know how to perceive it. My brain knows how to perceive it. My brain's very impressed by it, because musically it's really interesting. And there's actually a lot of little details in every single song that really add to the whole feeling of the song in full. but my heart is like flip-flopping. And I reckon it's gonna take me a couple of days for it to digest what it's just experienced. But for my brain, oh, I tremendously enjoyed, and I've been missing out way too long on a Taemin solo project, and I need to get invested immediately. But that is it from me today. Thank you all for watching along with me. Hopefully you enjoyed it as much as I did. One last request from me today: let us work together as a community to bring a little bit of extra happiness back into the world, whether it be checking with your friends and family, holding the door open for somebody, or even picking up a piece of trash off the street. Just one small act of kindness that may brighten up someone else's day today. And know that wherever you are in the world, should you ever be going through a tough time in your life, for whatever reason it may be, even though I'm just some guy on the internet who waffles about music in his free time, know that I will always be a friend, an ally, and a shoulder to lean on whenever you need me. So take care of yourselves, take care of each other, spread the love, and I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.